Hello and welcome to another match in our round 2 of the Super Mario Bros. Any Percent Tournament. I'm your host, Mini Corey, and I'm joined here by our two runners, gunlap28 and ImDangerous20. Runners,
Hello.
how are you feeling?
Nervous.
Nervous. All right. That's good.
I'm feeling all right.
That's good. That's good. Now, I was going to mention, I'm dangerous because of your seeding. You got a bye the first round, so you have not participated in a tournament race for this before. Have you raced any percent before at all, or is this going to be one of your first times doing that?
This is my first time doing that, yeah.
Okay, so you're kind of new to the nuances of racing and maybe some of the backup strats that might have to unfold as you run through the game here.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any part of the game that you're particularly worried about during these races?
4-2.
4-2. Yeah, we've seen that do some interesting things in these runs alongside 1-2 as well. Cause some interesting mishaps that we might see. Right. Gunlap, is your gameplay paused there, or are you just
Yeah, it's paused.
time? Okay, cool. All right, well, I don't have any more questions. I think we're ready to just get going into this if you guys are.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, so I'll have you two hop out of the call here, and then we will get going in just a second.
All right. Good luck, Dangerous.
Good luck to you too.
All right, so we are having a best of 9 today. So first person to win 5 of these races will be the victor. So seems like a lot, but these races go real quick. And these runners, very, very close personal bests to each other. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Gunlap has a 450. Oh, no, I'm not confusing myself. Their PBs are 1 second apart. I'll tell you that much. But when you're in this race category, you're not really pushing for a PB. You're not even really pushing to get within seconds of your PB. Very many things can happen here, and I think Gunlap, having the experience having raced before, even just last round in this race during his victory against Jack R, I think gives him a little bit of an edge here, even though he is a lower seed. I think we'll see kind of what happens as we get into our runs here. All right, I think our runners are getting ready here. We should be starting in just a second. All right, runners are ready. I think we'll begin a countdown here. Looking for some good Super Mario Brothers action today. I think our countdown has begun. We should see them getting going here in just a second. All right, there's our reset. Wow, perfectly synced. Awesome. And off to the races they go. All right, both players opting to get the mushroom here. I actually didn't see this in Gunlap's previous race, but maybe he decided to adapt. That is an option you have. Neither of these players would do this in their PB attempts, but when you're going for an any percent race, being able to take that extra hit really makes a big difference. And I would expect both of them to end up going for the Fire Flower. Oh, a little bit of hiccups on the stairs here for I'm Dangerous. I would expect both of them to go for the Fire Flower here in 1-2 as well. Beyond just taking the extra hit from the mushroom, the extra damage that the Fire Flower lets you put out really makes a big difference, especially as you get into the later stages like 8-1. And we noticed there that Gunlap is approximately 1 frame roll, about a third of a second ahead, just because of the pickup on the stairs there for I'm Dangerous. Looks like we do see a difference here. Gunlap is going for the Fire Flower, whereas I'm Dangerous is opting just to be Big Mario here. We'll see if he can maintain that power-up. Gunlap looking like he's actually able to pull ahead here, even though he had to take some time to grab the power-up. Pretty big advantage for him, being ahead here and having the Fire Flower. He's not going to have to worry much about any of the enemies in these upcoming levels. Alright, now we're on to 4-1. Oh, I'm Dangerous looks like he is going for the Fire Flower here. A little bit of hiccup. Oh no, and then immediately takes damage. Not what he wants to have happen. As you notice there in SMB 1, if you're Fire Flower and you take damage, you don't go back down to Big Mario. You go to Small Mario, so it's kind of all lost there. We'll see if he wants to try to get any power-ups later, but I'm going to guess he's just going to wing it here. Looks like we did not get a timer start from ImDangerous20, but likely will not be an issue here. We use the timers to make sure in case there's any syncing issues that we know exactly who won, but these runners started at a very similar time. And even in a game like this, it's actually pretty rare to see races that are down to the second. So I think we shouldn't have any issues here determining who will win. Perfect wrong warp for Gunlap, making good use of that zip from the Fire Flower from Big Mario. See how this looks for ImDangerous. It looks good. Oh yeah, he's in there. All right. Gunlap just a little bit ahead, heading into 8-1, but this stage will be a lot easier for him than it will be for ImDangerous20. This stage with the Fire Flower is much easier than without. You don't have to worry about any of these pipe jumps or anything. We'll see how ImDangerous can handle it. ImDangerous with that 1 second faster PB, just a few frame rolls. I might know a few of the strats might have a little bit more practice with 8-1, but we'll see if he can use it to his advantage. Both of these players making a good display of skill. Both of them have PBs under 5 minutes, only a second apart. Both at the top level of Super Mario Brothers. And we're only in round 2 of this tournament, so we'll be getting up there. Oh, ImDangerous with the 3 on the timer. I think he tried to slow down there at the end, but it just wasn't quite enough. We'll get a few fireworks here, costing him just a little bit more time. That's not what he wants here. Gunlap making good speed on good pace. You see he's only at 25 seconds there. No, I'm sure that's about 3:28 right now. Maybe 2, I don't know. I'm not counting. Alright, a solid 8-2 for Gunlap. This whole run's looking pretty good for him. No major hiccups. He's doing it with Big Mario, so it's not like we're seeing any PB grounds or anything like that, but looking for a real solid time here if he keeps this up. Right, ImDangerous taking it safe with the stairs at 8-2. Again, nothing too major other than taking some damage here and there and a few hiccups, but he's gotta hope that something happens to Gunlap here if he wants to take this game. Right, we come into the end of 8-3 here. Gunlap waiting. That was for the timer, so that it did not end in a 3. It was good. Oh, ImDangerous going for the Fire Flower here. I like this. He's going to be Big Mario going into the rest of these bros and the very end of the game. We'll see if he needs what he needs to catch up, though. Something's going to have to happen to Gunlap, and the way he's been playing, I'm not sure it will. Let's see if he gets this wall jump. He does, man. Gunlap just playing like a machine this first game, really just busting out the big guns immediately. If ImDangerous didn't see what happened to Gunlap in the previous races, he might think that this guy does this every time, and might be a little concerned. All right, we notice Gunlap making good use of a little glitch here. If you hold down when you enter the water area, you'll have a hitbox of small Mario. As you can see, he didn't get hit by that flame there. Makes his underwater area a lot easier as Big Mario. All right, he can just jam right through Bowser with these iframes, and he does. He gets it with a 5:07. Awesome race time. And really, ImDangerous not far behind him. I think anything sub 5:30, even sub 6 in these races is really solid. There's so much that can happen, and as soon as one thing goes wrong, you're kind of in improv territory and just doing whatever you can to get through the game. We'll see if he completes it here. Just needs to run under Bowser. He does. All right. Probably around 5:30-ish. So still a solid time, but we are far from over. This is the best of 9. These runners need to win 5 races in order to win the entire round. So we are just getting going here. All right. And we see runners going into World 3 here. This is just part of GSA's anti-cheat system. Essentially what we're doing is once the runners finish their race, we have them use the levels or the world select to go into a specific world at the end of the game. That's just a quick way to ensure that the run was recorded live and not a pre-recorded run. We just had them do something special right at the very end they couldn't really do otherwise. In a game like SMB, it's very hard to come up with anything to do at the throughout the run. There's really no time to do anything special because it's just nonstop from the very beginning. So we should be getting going here for our second race in just a second. That was a pretty good race. Just from what I've seen in the other tournament races, a lot can go wrong in these. I've seen deaths all over the place, even from really good runners. In Gunlap's last race that I saw him do, his final time was a 10:30 on one of the races. That still ended up winning. There's just so much that can happen in these runs, but it can happen to both players, and they can just kind of keep having to go at it, even getting game overs and having to restart worlds and whatnot. All right, we are counting down here. We should be getting going in just a second here. All right, looks like they are starting. Another beautiful sync. This is wonderful. Shout out to our restreamer, Tim Littlefree. Awesome job on the technical side of this. All right, 376, 375 for the 1-1. You see that ImDangerous is a tiny bit ahead. Oh, and a hiccup on the stairs for Gunlap this time around. Looks like he'll be the one that's a frame behind, maybe even more. We'll see how it shakes out for him. Oh, but we had fireworks for Dangerous. So Gunlap actually pulling ahead. Maybe that hiccup on the stairs was intentional. He was next leveling this. I haven't known about needing to intentionally slow down in 1-1 getting a power up, but it definitely makes sense. All right, we see ImDangerous opting for the Fire Flower this time in 1-2. It does seem like one of the better places to get it. It's less out of the way. 4-1 is fine as well, but you really want to stay ahead of that Lakitu the entire time in 4-1 if you can. Both players heading into 4-1. A little bit of a snooze fest in this speedrun, but they can make it through. It's nice to have some downtime after something like 1-2. Both players trying to grab as many coins as possible. Let's see who can come out on top here. ImDangerous looking like he's able to get nearly all of them. Alright, and good staircases for both players. This is neck and neck going into 4-2. Only a slight lead for Gunlap that he developed in 1-1. Let's see how Wrong Warp treats both these players. Again, it's Big Mario. It's a little bit easier. You can do that zip here at the beginning. Pushes Mario really far right on the screen. Just like that. Let's see. All right. Good Wrong Warp for Gunlap. Looks good for ImDangerous, but he takes it a little bit slower just to be sure. Gonna cost him some time, but not as much as missing the Wrong Warp. You see both players heading into 8-1 now. Now, for those of you not familiar, that Wrong Warp in 4-2 works by putting Mario far enough right on the screen when entering the pipe that would normally go into the coin cache, and the camera is then far enough left that it thinks that you are near the vine that takes you into the warp zone, so it warps you to the warp zone instead of the coin cache. So you push Mario right on the camera by either zipping like you saw the players do there, or jumping and bumping backwards into things like pipes and bricks and whatnot. It's a fairly precise trick, but these players are able to execute even in a race setting. All right, and we see Gunlap developing his lead still. Again, just solid play from Gunlap here. Really no major mistakes. Really showing up to this race. Let's see if ImDangerous can do the same. He was honestly playing very well as well. It's just Gunlap is not giving him any room for error. -2 looking good so far for both players. Oh, that bounce on the Koopa scared me a little bit, but it looked all right. ImDangerous taking a little bit safer on the Koopa and Bills, losing just a little bit more time again. He just keeps squeezing out these tiny time losses that normally wouldn't be a big deal, but Gunlap is just gung-ho, nonstop. You can't give him tiny advantages like that. Not when he's playing like this. Alright, Gunlap taking some damage there. He's no longer Big Mario. This might cost him, might end up killing him. We'll see how he treats these bros, or how they treat him, and then also how 8-4 is. Good on the timer for Gunlap. Good on the timer for ImDangerous. Gunlap's still a little bit of a lead, but Small Mario, anything can happen now. One hit and he's done, and the lead will be lost completely. Both players make it through the first section of 8-4. Gunlap going for the wall jump. Gets it again, 2 for 2. ImDangerous also getting it. Man, just giving ImDangerous no room to catch up here. See how these fire flowers treat him. Makes it through the water area. And this race even closer than the last, but Gunlap's taking the win again with a 5:09, and ImDangerous right behind it with a 5:13. Only a 4-second difference in that race. That is insane. These players are both playing at peak skill, and I feel bad that ImDangerous isn't squeaking out a win here. Gunlap is just not giving him the chance, though. But I'm certain it's got to happen one of these times. You can't play like this 5 races in a row, I hope. That'd be inhuman. Have our racer here go to World 2 to show that he is not a robot. Looks like he's not. He's real. It's a real run. Just incredible gameplay from Gunlap here, and even from ImDangerous20, but he needs something else. He needs something special. He needs something to happen to Gunlap, I think. And not anything big. I mean, a 4-second difference on that race, like, that could be so many different small mistakes that Gunlap might have made that would have cost him that race. All right, both runners are ready here. Look at them going into the third race here. See if Gunlap can keep his sweep going, or if ImDangerous wants to get in there and crack a win of his own. I'd expect it from him. I can't imagine Gunlap winning by these small margins 5 times in a row. It's gotta go the other way once. All right, and we are off. Oh, and a death immediately from ImDangerous. That's not what he wants to have happen at the start of this. Maybe the nerves getting to him. Down 2 games. Oh, it looks like he went into the bonus quest here. I don't think this happened last race. So what happened there is he did not do a full power off, power on to his console after that race. So the game still remembered that he has beaten the game before. So he's in the bonus quest, the New Game Plus. So you'll notice these Goombas are replaced with these shelled beasts, of which I don't know the name. Makes 1-1 a bit harder. Makes every stage a little bit harder. They're immune to fire flowers. Gonna make 1-2 especially hard. See how he handles it. Gunlap taking it safe through 1-2. Good for ImDangerous. I like this, using the Koopa shell there in 1-2. Alright, this is all looking good. He's just got to play it a little bit extra safe, but man, that death in the beginning cost him so much time. Gunlap already in 4-1. He needs Gunlap to have a death of his own if he wants to catch up here. But that's definitely not out of the question. I doubt it will happen in 4-1 though. We'll see how this run treats Gunlap. Alright, ImDangerous basically out of the troublesome parts of New Game Plus. Not really any enemies can give him troubles that weren't already the dark shelled monsters in the normal game. So we enter 4-2 here for Gunlap. He zips just a little bit. I think it's enough. We'll see if he opts to do a bump here to be sure. He's not. He thinks it's good. And it was, alright. I'm not going to be the judge of that. I mean, these players are far better than I am. Ooh, I'm dangerous front bumping on some things, but still far enough right. That one definitely is. Guess the wrong word. Meanwhile, Gunlap already in 8-1. I'm dangerous praying that he takes a death here. This is where he wants it to happen. In here or 8-2. Or 8-3 or 8-4, really, but I think these two stages are the more likely ones for it to happen. So easy to slip up the platforming just a little bit, and then you're done. But that Fire Flower proving to be a huge help as they go through 8-1 here. Alright, and a solid 8-1 from Gunlap. Again, just giving no room for error to I'm Dangerous. Solid 8-1 for I'm Dangerous. If it weren't for that death, I feel like these players would just be neck and neck right now. Wow, I'm Gunlap taking it quite slow up those stairs and ends up taking damage. This is what I'm Dangerous is hoping for. A Rogue Bullet Bill could end this for Gunlap. And there it was, the Rogue Bullet Bill. As he tries to get the power up. I'm Dangerous is now in the lead. This is what he wanted. Let's see if he can keep it. Gunlap getting the power up this time and not losing it. I'm Dangerous finishing 8-2 in a good time. Let's see if he can maintain his lead through this. Ooh, Gunlap doing some careful bouncing, jumping through those Koopas. Right, a solid finish for him, but with a 3 on the timer, he's going to see some fireworks here. While I'm Dangerous plows through 8-3. It's looking good so far. These Hammer Bros are no match to his Balls of Fire. This is easy mode for him. Bumps on the staircase there so that his timer ends on a 2. Gunlap making his way through 8-3 now. Oh, good kill on the Hammer Bro from below, but Mario's moving down. He'll kill anything. Alright, and 8 on the timer, so he's safe there, but I'm Dangerous is in 8-4. In the reverse of the situation he found himself in twice before. Now he's in the driver's seat. He's in control. Gets the wall jump. And it should be smooth sailing from here. Something's got to go really, really wrong for Gunlap to be back in this. I mean, any death will do it, but when you got a power up, that's pretty unlikely. Alright, both players 3 for 3 on the wall jump, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty incredible. Alright, I'm Dangerous taking damage, which means he cannot be taking damage to the Podoboo, the Bro, or Bowser here. Gets through Podoboo. He's going to wait at Bowser, which is fine. Gets in there, and he does take it this time with a 524. Gunlap right on his tail. Looking about 540 pace. Very, very solid run for I'm Dangerous. 524 with a death in 1-1. Alright, and a 539 for Gunlap. Only a 15-second difference that time. Another incredible race. Man, these have been neck and neck, and we're only in round 2 of this race. There's still another round, and then semis, and then finals. I can't imagine how close the races are going to be throughout the rest of this tournament. This is insane. I'm so excited to see where these runs take us. All right, both players dip it into World 2, showing that they were human despite the skill that they just displayed in those races. All right, and it's 2-1 here. Both players in the same world as the score of the match. That's a fun fact for you. All right, we should be getting going here in just a second of our 3rd race. This is nonstop. This is a best of 9. Gunlap needs 3 more wins. I'm Dangerous needs 4 more. We're still buckling down. We're still getting some races going here. This is still anybody's match. Alright, our runners all are ready here. We'll get them going in just a second. This is still anybody's match. I'm excited to see what comes of this. All right, both players getting going here. Not second quest for either player. That's always good. All right, and these players really are neck and neck. I mean, it looks like there's a 1 second delay on one of the streams, but we can tell they both exit the 1-1 cache with a 376 on their timer. Nothing major in 1-1. Both players slowing down just a little bit to not end with a 6 on that timer. And they're going to make their way into 1-2. Solid 1-1 from both players. As far as I'm concerned, these runners are tied due to the frame rule nature of this game. That is, if you finish the level, the game is only going to check that you actually beat it every 21 frames. So if these runners are close enough at the end of a level, they will actually end up being perfectly synced in between levels. Or they will be apart by about a third of a second, or a multiple of that. Which usually doesn't matter in races. Usually there's bigger things, but when you're early in a race, or when it's this close, like we can see here, insane. I think these players are still tied to the frame roll, judging by their timers in the works there. No mistakes so far from either player. As far as I'm concerned, these are near perfect, especially race strat Firefly Mario runs. Beautiful 4-1 for both players. All right, our sync is there. Look at that. All right, we'll see how the wrong warp treats both players here. It's looking good so far. Gunlap taking a little bit slower on the pipe up. ImDangerous maintaining his speed. Looks like he's pulling ahead here. This is the first time somebody's ahead, and we're in 4-2. In the warp zone of 4-2. What an insane race. Oh my gosh. I'm speechless. I don't have much to talk about because these runners are not making mistakes. They're just flying through this game. And I'm just in awe watching this. They're not slowing down for anything. You see ImDangerous has a slight lead here. And this is really going to come down to the wire. One of these players needs to have something happen to them, otherwise it's down to the frame rules. Solid 8-1 for both players still, as we enter now 8-2, where things went wrong for Gunlap last time. See if the nerves get to him, and maybe we see some repeat issues. Solid stairs. It's looking good. Now, these players don't know how close this is, but I feel like if I was in one of their positions and I took damage here, I would just keep going. I wouldn't opt to get a power up. But these players don't really know that. They're kind of going blind. We have the delay on the main stream. They don't know where each other are streaming. Oh, man. ImDangerous opting to slow down there for the Koopa and takes damage because of it. Gunlap gets in the lead now. And just barely. Oh, no, and fireworks for ImDangerous, so a little bit more. That's all it takes, and now the lead's back to Gunlap. It was only a 1 or 2 frame rule lead for ImDangerous, and then fireworks and slowing down the stairs just cost you. Alright, Gunlap, a little bit of choppiness. Gameplay that high speed doesn't fit through our internet. We'll get him synced back up for us, though, as soon as we can. I mean, notice ImDangerous opting for power up. So you can be Big Mario going into 8-4. Meanwhile, Gunlap finishes 8-3. Oh, ImDangerous with a 3 on the timer. Gonna see more fireworks. Now, as we've seen, anything can happen here, but both these players, every run they've done so far, have had really good 8-4s. So let's see what they can do. Another wall kick for Gunlap. 4 for 4. Let's see what ImDangerous can do. Gets it as well. 8 wall kicks in this match so far. Incredible. 8 wall kicks and 8 4-2 wrong warps. Neither player has messed up either of those tricks in these runs. Not to compare the difficulty of those two, but damage from the Potaboo for Gunlap, but he just gets through there with the iframes. 507 again. ImDangerous entering the last room here right on his tail. Just gonna hop through the flame, or through the hammers, doesn't even matter. Right, and only an 8-second difference that time. Our biggest gap in time so far has been the first race. It was still less than half a minute in favor of Gunlap. But now it's getting down to the wire. It's 3-1 for our overall score. Gunlap only needs 2 more victories here, while ImDangerous needs 4. These races have been very, very close, but they've mostly been in favor of Gunlap. All right, runners are getting ready for the 5th race of this match. Ooh, looks like we might have a little bit of an issue with the feeds there. Might have lost one. We'll get that back up for you in just a second. Man, these races have been so close. I still think it's anybody's game, but Gunlap is playing like a machine, and ImDangerous20 is playing like a slightly less oiled machine. but both runners are doing an excellent display of skill here, but man, Gunlap is just not giving ImDangerous room for error. We'll see if he tires out in these next few games, or if he can just keep his momentum and pull through. It looks like we did have a little bit of a stream crash from Gunlap. We'll get it back going here in just a second. But in the meantime, we can just hang out. We can relax. This has been kind of nonstop. 4 of these races in a row, as short as they are, is still tiring. But if it's not tiring for you, if you enjoy watching this, there's still more to this tournament. We'll be back here on this channel tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Time for Skyhoppers versus Minor Tyler. Which will be our last round 1 match. I know we're cheating a little bit here doing a round 2 match today. We wanted to get ahead for you. But that match tomorrow will be the end of round 1, and then we'll be completely going in round 2 here. So excited to see what that brings to the table. If we're only in round 2 here and the races are this close, then I'm very, very afraid of what's going to happen. Maybe afraid's not the right word. I am excited for what's going to happen. I'm afraid for the level of skill that I'm going to witness and realize that I cannot do myself. But this is going to be some very interesting races. And if you're just hanging out on this channel and you like watching whatever speedruns we're doing, this Friday we'll see some more matches in the Celeste Any Tournament. 3 p.m. on Friday Eastern Time, we can get Star Cruncher versus Black Pear 420. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on that same day, Friday, we'll have Chai Kitty versus Ultra Marlin. And if you're still wanting to hear about tournaments, because we're still getting a stream going, there's more than just this channel. We also have Speedrun SMO and Speedrun SM64. And if I'm not mistaken, let me double check here before I start just advertising things that aren't happening. For the Speedrun SM64, we have a triple bingo tournament starting next week. Don't miss that. And then for Super Mario Odyssey, we also have a triple bingo tournament already halfway through. So keep an eye on those two channels if you like those speed games. All right, looks like Gunlap was having a little bit of issues with his stream connecting to the Twitch servers, but I think we are getting there. We're in the progress of getting this going. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to start making up tournaments. Well, I guess I'll keep making up tournaments. We also have the Super Mario 64 Nonstop 70-star tournament going on right now. That's in round 2. That's as far as this one is, although it's gonna have a few more runners, but same number of rounds. Be sure to catch those. It's not like any SM64 speedruns you have seen before. Just trying to figure out what is going on with the stream here so that we can bring you as much Mario action as possible. It just wouldn't be the same if we had these runners racing and y'all couldn't see it. So we gotta keep it going through the tubes for you guys. I hope you guys are ready to hear about more tournaments, because that's all I really have to talk about, but it's very exciting. Also just announced we have our Mario Kart Double Dash tournament. Signups are still open for that, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I think I might have talked about every tournament that we have going on right now. But man, that is a lot. Hey look, the stream's back. Great. Alright, we have Gunlap stream back. Feeding through you. After I mentioned every tournament. And if you forgot everything I already just mentioned, because I said so many, ! Discord in the chat, or ! Bracket. Bracket will give you challenge info, all of our brackets with tournaments going on. Discord just gives you access to the Discord, which is your path into all things GSA. If you have any questions, you want to see what's going on at any given time, the Discord server is the place to be. All right, our runners are back. We're getting going here. Apologies for the delay. But we should be moving on in just a second here. All right, looks like we are going. Just a minor desync between the two streams, so I'm certain we can get that worked out. All right, and we see our runners going through. Beautiful sync, wonderful. I like that these players have stuck to their power-up strats. When I was casting a round 1 match, I noticed the players almost experimenting with which route and which strategies they wanted to do. Kind of getting different power-ups each time, or just doing a lot of different things. It looks like Gunlap, maybe just after round 1, found his home, found what he wanted to do, and ImDangerous20 almost knew going into it. Despite saying he had never actually done these races before, I think he immediately knew, I just want to do the Fire Flower any percent route. I'm not going to try anything fancy. I'm just going to go for it. And I think that hesitation can cause a lot of problems. And since these runners haven't had that hesitation, we've seen them pull out some really, really solid runs here. Right, both players are neck and neck, but it looks like Gunlap might have just a minor lead here as we go through 1-2. And these players are nearly synced in 4-1. This is looking a lot like last race. Maybe another less than 10-second difference here. One of these players needs to make a mistake if the other one wants a chance, otherwise it's like tied. Beautiful 4-1. But this is where we turn it up. This is where it goes up to 11. We got a wrong warp, and then we got World 8. And this is where we've seen things go wrong. It's kind of just kiddie playground warm up for the levels before this point. We'll see how this wrong warp treats both players. See if we can see 10 perfect wrong warps in this race, or if maybe it'll only be 9. Alright, ImDangerous taking it a little bit slower, but looks like both players are going to get it, but now Gunlap has developed a lead here. That's looking good for him. Alright, this is what I was talking about. It's those tiny mistakes. It's hesitating on a wrong warp or bumping around on some pipes when you don't mean to. And that's what it takes for this race to change hands and change leaders. You see Gunlap developing just a minor lead here. Really anybody's race as far as I'm concerned, but if both these players play perfectly like they have been, it's Gunlap's game. And that's not a situation ImDangerous wants to be in. He wants to be the one in the driver's seat, like he felt that one glorious time. He wants to be in that situation again. All right. Heading into 8-2 for both runners here. This is where we've seen things go wrong in the past. This is one of our highlight stages for things going wrong. We'll see how it treats both of these runners. It's looking good so far. It's amazing how many bad things can happen in such a short stage, but it looks good for both runners there. Solid finishes. Oh, and one firework for both runners. I didn't even notice that. I guess that's not going to make a huge difference, but ImDangerous sure would have felt good if Gunlap was the one getting the fireworks, not him. Or not both of them. Alright, these bros are no match to the power-ups that both runners have. Making 8-3 a pretty breezy stage that they can fly right through. A little bit of intentional clipping on the stairs for both runners. Timers ending in a 2. All is well. We're into the final stage here. Gunlap in the lead for the 4th time, entering the last stage. See how it treats them. A little bit of a hiccup on the Gunlap stream. We'll see if that wants to come back at this very important time in this race. All right, ImDangerous taking damage there, but still getting the wall kick. Oh, a little bit of a bounce on the cheap there. There's a chance that we lost Gunlap stream, but he might not have noticed and might be finishing out the run. We'll see if we can figure out exactly what's going on here. Right, looks like we did lose Gunlap stream there temporarily. Claims to have finished with a 507. ImDangerous with a 513. See exactly what we want to do here. If we can get that stream back up for you guys. I'm not certain by GSA rules that we will be able to give that win to Gunlap because of the stream going down during the end of the run. Try to figure out exactly what's going on with the stream outage issues here for him. Looks like he is getting his stream back up. I wasted all my tournament talking. No, now I don't have anything to talk about. Sorry, everyone. We're just trying to figure out what's going on with our rule situation here. The stream will be back up in just a second for Gunlap. We are on that, but we're also trying to figure out exactly what the ruling is. Looks like we might have another disconnect for Gunlap. See exactly what we can do here. I think our runners are deliberating on how they would also like to resolve the situation. And of course, trying to make sure we can get the stream going up in a way that it will not disconnect again. Obviously, we don't want that to happen again. Having a stream go down in 8.4 like that is very unfortunate. See if we can get it back and going for you just long enough to finish out this best of 9. Our runner stream is up. We just gotta plug it back into our own restream software so that we can bring it to you guys. Alright, we do have Gunlap stream back up. We do see his end time there, but per GSA rules, I'm not certain that Gunlap is able to claim a victory to that round. Just trying to figure out exactly how we're going to resolve this situation. All right. Yeah, looks like because of the disconnect, Gunlap is going to have to forfeit that match to ImDangerous. So our score right now is 3-2. Unfortunate for him to have a disconnect, but we do have rules in place to handle these sort of things. Do want to make this as fair as possible. I believe both of our runners are ready, so we should be getting going here in just a second onto the 6th match of this best of 9. All right, I see our countdown has begun, so we should see some running action here in just a second. Looks like we are moving. Off at it again. It's a bit of a marathon, even the game being this short, you know, and we're only, gosh, barely 30 minutes into this this series. It's hard to do these runs back to back, especially having to complete every one of them. Especially if you're used to putting in attempts and, you know, doing the early parts of the game over and over again, but maybe not the late parts of the game. Maybe not the whole thing all the way through. Looks like we have a direct tie, you know, 1-1 for both of these players. See how 1-2 likes to treat them. We've noticed a few hiccups from both sides throughout the stage, so let's see if these runners can maintain their speed here. It's looking good so far, almost as if we're seeing the same game feed. Wow. I assure you we're not, but man, these runners, okay. There we go, we see a little bit of a pipe hiccup there for Gunlap. Let's ImDangerous take the lead here by just a tiny amount. That's all he needs. Oh, and another one. Slow jump for Gunlap. ImDangerous in the driver's seat. As we fly through 4-1 here, not expecting anything to go wrong. I really hope not. I see both players making their way to the end of 4-1 there. ImDangerous still maintaining that slight lead that he was able to develop in 1-2. Let's see how the 4-2 wrong warp treats them. I'm amazed to see that both of these players have gotten this every time. Uh-oh. As I say it, though, ImDangerous going to have to go for a bump method here. What's he going to bump? Looks like he's going to do it on these pipes. Man, he's taking it real slow. And taking damage. I think he's just going to die here. Yep. He needs to die there. Yeah, looks like he messed up his bumps. He knew he wouldn't be able to get the wrong warp, and he wants to go at it again. But that gives Gunlap the chance to make his way into World 8 here with a good wrong warp. Now ImDangerous going for a normal... Looks like a multi-bump strategy here. Just getting in as many as he can to ensure that this wrong warp is golden, and it is. But man, it's behind now. That lead he developed in 1-2 is completely gone. Meanwhile, Gunlap about halfway through 8-1 when ImDangerous is entering it. He really needs a big death here from Gunlap, which we have seen, which we did just see. Bounces off the Koopa, doesn't make the jump onto the pipe, and now he's dead in 8-1, and ImDangerous is back in the lead here. Just like that, both players Small Mario in World 8. This is some danger territory for both runners here. They both have to be so careful. As Small Mario in World 8 here. We see that taking it very slowly on those pipes that gave a sour fate to Gunlap. Alright, 8-1 looking good so far for ImDangerous. Taking it slow where he can. Alright, and a solid finish. Gunlap now behind him. The lead has gone back and forth twice now in this race. Alright, solid beginning to 8-2. Both of these runners just on thin ice. ImDangerous opting to get a power up there. Very smart of him. Still maintains his lead doing so. We'll see if Gunlap wants to do the same despite being behind here. Looks like he does. Doesn't cost too much time to grab that power up, and it can really save you time if you're going to end up taking damage later. I definitely understand going for that in a race setting. There he does take the damage there. Unfortunately, that damage looked like it might have only happened because he was Big Mario. Wow, that staircase scaring me. I think he might have wanted to go for a little bit of a bullet bill glitch there, but didn't quite get the jump right. Gunlap flying through 8-3. Let's see if he wants to collect a power up in this stage or just continue going. Looks like he wants to show where it is, in case we weren't sure, but not going to get it for himself. Alright, and a little bit of a hold it there at 8-3, just to get the timer to be on a 2. Gunlap having to stall to 8-3 as well, but behind and small. Oh man, good kill on that, bro. Let's see what ImDangerous here can do. Another wall kick. The wall kick is nothing to these runners. I mean, it's not the hardest strat, but this many times in a row, I'm personally impressed. Alright, we see that crouching Mario glitch again in the water section. Looks like we do have a missed wall kick from Gunlap, letting us all down. But he can just break that block and make his way through here. But ImDangerous taking damage. He's in the final room, but one thing goes wrong and it's over for him. We'll see how Bowser treats him. It's looking good. He does get it with a 538 while Gunlap is in the water section. I do not think we've had a run. Man, even our biggest difference, the runner was just barely entering the water section when the other one finished. These have been so close. 538, 553, only a 15-second difference. The win going to ImDangerous, and now we're tied up, 3-3. Our series is tied. We're kind of on a mini best of 3 at this point. Only 2 wins needed for one of these players, and they are... The trophy's theirs. Well, the trophy for round 2, of course. The trophy of advancement onto the next match. right. I see a little bit of a verification here. I think we might have had another stream crash from Gunlap. He's got to be careful of that. Luckily not happening during the race, but see if he can control his internet through sheer willpower. Alright, we'll get that going there if we can. Looks like just some minor disconnects for Gunlap. He is able to bring it back up when it does happen, but you have to be careful about that at GSA. Hopefully we can get going here without interruptions in just a second. Hope everybody out here is having a good time enjoying this race. I know I am. This is neck and neck. This is just super, super close. Every one of these races has been a treat. I've gone into it not knowing who's going to win and come out of it somewhat surprised every time. So if this is indicative of what the rest of this tournament is going to look like, then I am very, very excited for what we can see coming forward. It looks like our streams are back up. They look the same, but they are not. Both runners are maybe ready. Figure out exactly what we're doing here. As we try to close out this best of 9 between gunlap28 and ImDangerous20 here at the Global Speedrun Association. If you guys are trying to follow along with this tournament, want to catch all the matches, ! bracket in the chat, links to the bracket, ! schedule gives you a calendar of every time we will be streaming on all of our channels, all 3 of them. That is twitch.tv/speedrun, /speedrun SM64, and speedrun SMO. And ! Discord into our Discord server, where you can find all things GSA, give us tournament ideas, express your interest in tournaments, and even join our commentary teams if that's your deal. You know, I'm here lonely this evening, but it's not always like that. You know, if there's more of you out there that have interest in doing this kind of thing, hit us up, let us know. We are always looking for more people to help run these wonderful, wonderful streams. All right, I think we might have had a disconnect from Gunlap again, unfortunately. See exactly what's going on. See what we can get going here. Now, another rule that, you know, hopefully doesn't come into play here, but is part of the tournament rules for GSA. There is a little bit of a strike system. There are a few penalties that might give runners strikes. One of those penalties is stream disconnects. If that happens too many times to either runner, then it would result in a disqualification in the match. Obviously not what we want to have happen, but those rules are in place to prevent too many delays like this or too many disruptions throughout the entire tournament. So hopefully we can get this figured out with Gunlap, but there is a chance that the race might have to end early in ImDangerous's favor. We'll see what we can do here to get going. Again, obviously not, not the ideal situation, but these rules need to be in place for these tournaments to be able to run smoothly. So we'll see what we can do here. So I've actually been writing down the differences between these races because they've been so interesting to me. And the biggest difference so far between these two players at the end of one of these races is 25 seconds. And that was in the very first race. And then it was 4 seconds, 15, 8, 6, 15. I mean, these are just neck and neck. And every single run that we've seen in this best of 9 has been under 6 minutes for both players. Very different than some of the other matches we've seen in this tournament. Because, like I mentioned going into this, anything can happen in these any percent races. Honestly, deaths aren't that uncommon. If you look at like what a player does when they're going for PB attempts, they're really doing the hardest strats they know every time, trying to shave 1 frame roll off of their time. And deaths are common because resets are common. But in a tournament like this, if you die, you have to keep going. And so it's not uncommon at all for deaths to happen in runs like we've seen. But I'm amazed at how few deaths we've seen from our runners in these races. Only a small handful of them. So these guys are seriously playing at peak skill as far as I'm concerned for racing. All right, looks like we have the stream back up. We are doing a countdown. I think we are moving along to our 7th race of this series. I want everybody to keep their fingers crossed for Gunlap stream here. I hope it stays up. I want to see a good, solid finish to this series. All right, we see both runners starting out the same way we've seen every time this race. Oh, a little bit of hiccups here in 1-1. Maybe the break got to him for ImDangerous20. All right, I think we're going to see a single firework there for ImDangerous20. Not the best 1-1, Hiccups can happen at any of these levels. I know I was talking a lot last round how everything's just easy going into this, but maybe I shouldn't say it like that because I think every part of this game is challenging and every minor mistake is punishing. And we see it where even in something like 1-1, bumping on some blocks the wrong way, it costs you time. All right, we see runners making their way through 1-2. I think we might see a little bit of a hiccup here, unfortunately, for Gunlap. Not sure what's going on. But it's not spelling well for him. ImDangerous making his way through 4-1 in the meantime. We'll see how the wrong warp treats him. Not until last race did we see any sort of issues with the 4-2 wrong warp. So still very solid consistency for both runners here. All right, looks like we did have that disconnect from Gunlap. So I think that is a disqualification, not a disqualification from the entire match, but a forfeiture of that single race for ImDangerous20. If I'm not mistaken, ImDangerous20 still needs to finish this run, so we're going to have him do that. Just to show that he is still capable of beating the game despite not having an opponent for this match. Unfortunate for Gunlap, he's still going to give it another try after this one. but not the way we expect it to be going down. Really unfortunate about the stream issues, but unfortunately we do have to still enforce those GSA rules that are part of the tournament. And ultimately it is for the better. Solid 8-1 so far for I'm Dangerous. We'll see what time he can pull out here. See if he can still shows that he still has 4 games or 7 games into the series that he can still pull out a solid run, and so far it's looking like that. Both of these players, an amazing display of consistency. Alright, 8-2 looking pretty good for him so far as well. He does get there. He's gonna take a little bit of a peek skate of firework here. Just a single little one popping up. Not a huge deal. But making his way into 8-3, still a very solid run for him. Alright, taking a little bit of damage from that bro here. Not the time of the run where you want to be taking damage, but that's why you get the power up in this run. He's just got to make it through 8-4 without taking damage if he wants to get it. Right, he makes his way into 8-4 here. See what kind of play he can pull out here. Another wall jump for him. 7-4-7. Pretty wonderful. Right, a little bit of a slowdown in the water section, but otherwise it's looking good. Dodging those flaming, spinning things. Whatever they are. Alright, looks like a pretty solid time here. 5:12, one of the better times that he's seen so far in this series. And due to the disconnect, but honestly, 5:12, I can't say the gunlap would have taken that one. That's a really solid time from what we've seen in this race. So it looks like the win for that one is going to ImDangerous20. He's going to be up 4 to gunlaps3. Alright, we're just figuring out the stream issue again with Gunlap. Trying a different Twitch server, doing everything we can to see if we can maintain the upness of his stream. So that we can bring you as much SMB1 action as possible. We're getting near the tail end of this series, and it's been close. ImDangerous20 showing us everything he knows about SMB1. All these fun little glitches, climbing on the edge of the screen. All right. Looks like, due to the server issues, Gunlap has decided to forfeit this match. Unfortunate for him, but sometimes there are things out of our control. And there are consequences. So the win for this set will go to ImDangerous20. I think we will still get our runners in here for a post-match interview. Those are still some insanely close races, though. You should be joining us here in just a second. We'll send them the message to let them know. All right, I am joined here now by ImDangerous20.
Hello.
That was an interesting series.
Yeah.
Gunlap is in here now as well. Yeah, unfortunate about the server disconnects, but you guys still brought us some of the closest races that I've seen this entire tournament. I don't know if you guys were necessarily able to keep up with exactly what was going on, but from the races we saw, the biggest time gap between you two was 25 seconds, and that was in the first race. And then after that, everything was 15 seconds or less.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
there's
mean-
a lot of sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm not really like surprised. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there were some insanely close races, and I went into this telling you guys that, you know, oh, anything can happen in these races or and whatnot. But you guys managed to pull out several really, really solid runs. I was very impressed by that. So, is there anything that you guys wanted to say about the match or anything like that?
I'm sorry to Gunlap that the servers were not working in his
Hello,
favor.
can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can.
No, it's all good, Dangerous. Don't worry. Don't feel bad. Things happen. I've tried everything. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, it
Do you
was
have any
still,
questions?
No, I just was pointing out, I don't know if you heard, but I was pointing out how close every single race that we saw was. And I was wondering if you noticed any of that.
Yeah, we did our best to make it close, but sorry to the viewers that, you know, this had to happen.
I think you guys still brought the viewers some incredible races. I think they're still going to be very happy to have seen them.
Yeah.
I was definitely happy to cast them. It was really awesome. So thanks to both of you guys.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of going on a roll. Like, I had that one mishap where I had that, I think it was a death, then 8-1 or 8-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what to say at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, still some both of you showing just some really, really solid runs. I think that you had the death in 8-1. ImDangerous had a race where he had a death in 1-1. He ended up
Yeah,
winning.
I had started on second quest by accident, so
Yeah. But other than that, like, every mistake that happened was so minor, and the races were just like neck and neck and back and forth, and these just like tiny, tiny trades of time, and so they were really exciting to watch.
Yeah, that's why I switched to this strat, because even if you get hit, you still have an extra hit left.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was one thing I noticed too, is that the difference between your races specifically in round 1 versus round 2 is, like, I think you kind of found the route that you wanted to do for these races, which was that fire flower strat, just getting the 2 power-ups immediately.
Yeah.
I think that sort of consistency and, like, knowing what you want to do definitely made a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of just grabbing the power-ups and the extra movement involved, it's only like you only lose about like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's really minor in terms of a race. So. And we ended up seeing the same power-up strats from both of you guys, so it kind of ended up putting you guys tied coming out of 1-1. And in one of the races, you guys were tied to the frame roll through 4-1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So, all right, I think that is all the race action we have for today, though. If you want to catch some more SMB1, we'll be back tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But huge thanks to our runners. Thanks to everybody watching. Thanks to our restreamer. I think that's all we got for tonight.
No other questions?
That's all I have. If there's anything else you want to talk about, I'm happy to.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it for me. Thanks for everyone who watched, and thanks for Dangerous for racing against me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry that your servers and stuff.
It's all good. He's a fantastic runner. He has a, I mean, for his age, he's got a mid 457. So
Yeah, very, very good.
shout outs to him.
Thanks.
That's it. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Yep. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, everyone.